Welcome back to the Williams Pulse, your go-to podcast for all the news and entertainment you need right here on campus. I'm Natalie. This week, we're thrilled to welcome two incredible seniors who've been flying high and leading charge for the Williams cheer team, Alonna and Lyndi. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So, as many know, the cheerleaders just got back from nationals in Orlando, Florida. Tell us kind of about what it's like being back. Have y'all finally been able to rest? Like, is it nice to be back?
I'm just now catching up on all of my homework, all of my assignments, all the quizzes that I missed, because, we were gone for a week.
Yeah.
So, It was a lot.
The biggest thing I've been catching up on is sleep, because I think we probably slept like 12 hours the entire trip.
Like, total.
Yeah.
It was rough. Yeah.
Before we get too far into this, don't forget to check out the long format episode. This time, they're joined with none other than Dr. Norman. Here's a little sneak peek.
You're the president of Williams Baptist University.
That's what they tell me.
Is it lonely to be in your position?
So it's interesting that you ask me that.
Is the average university driven by a left-wing progressive woke agenda?
A lot of the conversations of late have been about this wokeness among universities. And I would say that is a symptom of a deeper core issue. And there's a certain culture in the academic academy, and you've got to pay your dues and sign off on what it means, what it requires to belong to the academy. And if you don't, you can't be a part of it. You got to go along with what the prevailing beliefs and sentiments are, or you're not part of it.
What is a tenured professor?
So in some segments of our culture, tenure is interpreted that I am bulletproof. Unless I just do something illegal, you cannot fire me. Really what it means and how the courts have ruled on this, tenure simply means you cannot be terminated without cause. There's more academic freedom at a faith-based institution than there is at a state school.
So hypothetically, you could be a tenured professor and you could be at an institution for 30 years, and because the ideology has changed or the culture has changed, would they fire you over not having the same beliefs, or would it just be behind the scenes bullying and trying to cancel you?
I think there would be a lot of passive-aggressive pressure. I don't think you would get terminated in that scenario unless you did something publicly that was perceived to be a blatant violation of that institution's commitment.
Which we have seen that the government can quickly rewrite the law on what is hate speech, what is considered to be racist, and then make everybody abide by it pretty fast. It's easy, since we're at a Christian university, to point at the other universities and say, this is where you're wrong. Could they point their finger at us and say, we're doing the same thing?
They do, and they would be right.
Are we not more aligned with the idea of free thinking? Are we more open, or are they more open?
Are these colleges, these universities, are they too far gone?
What we see playing out is just symptomatic of actions and decisions that happened a long time ago.
What is the purpose of a university?
We will be the outlier, not just an outlaw institution from the cultural, social norms that you find at most leftward secular institutions. But even within our own faith commitments and traditions, we're doing something that is unique within Christian higher education too.
And I think if I was at a state university, it would be a lot harder to, I don't want to say find myself, that seems kind of cliche, or
become the ideal person that you envisioned for your life.
And I think this environment has been very, very helpful for me.
Now on to the admissions news.
If you're a high school senior or high school junior and looking for the perfect college, we have the perfect opportunity for you.
Join us this Friday, February 7th, for our first spring preview day. If this Friday doesn't work, we have another one on Friday, February 28th.
Come experience campus, enjoy some awesome food, and possibly even step into the podcast studio with us. Go to williamsbu.edu/preview to sign up now. More information can be found in the show notes. Now, here's what's happening on campus this week.
So, Trivia Tuesday is in the Grill at 7 p.m. And basically you just form teams, and it's not really like Kahoot style, but it's, teams and trivia, and you just want to be the best and win prizes.
I went last time, and it was really fun. I just went with a couple of my friends. Did I know any of the trivia questions? No. Did I have a good time? Yes. On Thursday, come check out the Future Farmers of America interest meeting from 5 to 7 p.m. in the green room behind the Startup Chapel. Free meal included, because let's be honest, that's half the reason why you're going. No tractors required. See you there. What's everyone's favorite campus activity? I'm going to just say mine is going to have to be going to the basketball games.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. I was going to say, but I didn't want to just be like athletics.
That's kind of obvious.
Yeah, honestly, I don't cheer, obviously, but I do like watching you guys. Y'all are so entertaining to watch on the sidelines. And also the game going on, there's a bunch of hype in the gym, and it's just Like, it's fun.
Monday afternoon, there's a men's JV basketball game versus SEMO. It starts at 3 p.m. in the gym.
Alonna, can you tell us what's going on Saturday?
Yes, Saturday there's a baseball game versus Philander Smith, and they play at home at 12 and 2. And also, softball plays at home versus the Ozarks at 1 and 3.
Now, let's get into some hot takes.
Hot take.
The hot take for this week is cheer isn't a sport. It's a highly athletic, extremely difficult art. As cheerleaders, what do y'all think about that?
Goodness.
I disagree.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves as someone who has cheered her entire life. Now, this is what I always say when people say this to me. I say sideline cheer is not a sport. When you're cheering at basketball games, waving your pom-poms, okay, like, you're still showing school spirit, but to me, that's not a sport. Comp cheer is a sport, and that's how I feel.
I feel like we do just as much as every other sport on campus. This past semester, I was up at 3:45 every day, drive here, make it to practice by 5. We would go to class all day, and then we would have practice again at 10, or until 10 in Jonesboro. So we would have 2-a-days just like any other sport. We would work just as hard. Coach Hoskins made us run laps all the time.
I also would like to add, what other sport throws people in the air?
Yeah.
Catches
that's
them,
insane.
holds body weight.
Here's what I was about to add. I know for volleyball, me and Alonna both played volleyball, and we do preseason and everything. Well, this year, cheer joined us and did our preseason with us and did the workouts. So them showing up for that just proved to me, it's like, wow, they are more athletic than what I thought.
Yeah, we trained with those Marines.
Yeah, I feel like cheer is just like a misconception of just like, oh, you can do a cartwheel. It's like, no, it's so much more than that. Like, oh my goodness.
Sure. Now for the college hack. Alonna, would you read that for us?
Yes. So if you do laundry on Saturday night or Sunday morning, there will be more empty washers and dryers because people are either not on campus or sleeping in.
Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
I know for Sunday morning, if you don't go to church, that's the perfect time to do it. But I go to church, so normally I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I will say, with us saying it now, are people going to start using them? We can't
We'll have to
speak
see.
yet. All right, now let's get into some interview questions. First, go ahead and tell us about nationals. How did that go?
Whip out my
Oh
list.
my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
Oh wait.
I
Yes,
haven't.
we have a okay. I wake up. It's 1 a.m.
No.
Pitch black. I'm like, oh, it's kind of cold. I wake up. The bus is stopped. It's 1 a.m. I said, oh, we made it. I look out my window. We're in somebody's front yard. I was like, what are we doing? I look out the other window. It's just highway cars. I said, we're not at our hotel. And they're like, the bus broke. I said, what?
So we had hit a deer previously about 2 hours prior. Ran it over. It was dead in the middle of the road. We couldn't miss it. Hit it. Drove for 2 hours, leaking transmission fluid. And then the bus finally just turned off on its own.
So, with all that said, obviously a lot happened before y'all had to compete. How did you keep yourselves mentally strong and confident with all that pressure loaded on?
Pure adrenaline. And I think we had a lot of pressure because we're the first team that's ever went from the school to nationals. So, like, we knew we had a name to make for ourselves. We knew we had a lot of pressure coming up on us. So, definitely that.
Yes, I will say the afternoon that we competed, well, that morning, we didn't sleep. Like, when we competed at what, like 1:30 p.m.?
Yes, and we didn't get to Orlando until like 4:30 that morning.
Yeah, and then we had to start getting ready because we had to be somewhere. We had to leave by 7. We got there at like 4:30, so we just started getting ready, hair, makeup, uniform, and everything. By the time we competed, I think we had calculated, we had been without sleep for like
36 hours.
Yeah, we calculated.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was rough, but we did it.
Let's get into some positive things that happened on the trip. What were some of the most memorable moments?
I'm going to start crying.
I know.
It was my last time and Alana's ever
Yeah.
competing for the school. And
And that was like crazy just to realize like, oh, I don't get to put on this cheer uniform and get on a mat anymore. Like that was weird. Another memorable thing is that after we competed, we had these passes to Disney every day. So we got to go to all the different parks and I met so many of my favorite characters. Oh my gosh. It was so
love
fun.
that.
It was so fun.
we also were able to like go back into the venue every day. So we got to watch big SEC schools like Alabama. We got to watch
Wow.
Kentucky, LSU. We warmed up with those 3 schools too. Like,
Oh my gosh. When we were on our warm-up mats, Kentucky was like 5 feet away from me. I was just like, this is
Awesome.
crazy.
So you talked about how when you guys were warming up, would you say that was the most memorable moment, like on the mat, like right before you went on?
Definitely. Because I
Yeah.
feel like it all just like came together in that exact moment. Like, we've been working so hard. We're up every day, and, like, you know, it gets hard sometimes. Like, we're tired, we're exhausted, you're over it. And so in that moment, I think that's when I realized, like, this was all so worth it. I'm here. I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. It was just great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And one thing about cheer, I think people don't realize, is that you put in months and months and months of work for a 3-minute routine. You know, it's not like basketball where you practice for months. Oh, you have a game this day. You have a game this day. We have a game next week. No, you do this for months, and then it's like, okay, 3 minutes. Here you go. I would like to say, before we got on the mat, LSU cheerleaders told us good luck, and that was like a dream come true.
Wow.
So,
as seniors, what legacy do y'all hope to leave behind for future cheerleaders here at Williams?
The biggest legacy I just want to leave is to, like, push through. Like, there's always going to be something better. There's always going to be setbacks, but in the end, it's all going to be so worth it. I'm so glad I stuck it out and stayed with this program because it's been more successful than I ever could have imagined when I first came in.
I would just say legacy in general. My freshman year, I was on the first competitive cheer team, and now my senior year I was on the first national competitive cheer team. So just stuff like that puts it in perspective, like, oh, I know people think Williams is like a small school, we've established kind of what sports we have, but there's always room for growth for someone who cares and loves cheer and growing the sport. Now,
I know y'all both talked about how this is going to be like, that was your last time stepping on the mat and putting the uniform on. What are you going to miss the most about being a Williams cheerleader?
I'm just going to miss, like, I've never not had a team. Like, I did a sport all throughout high school, all throughout college. Like, it's just going to be weird, like, not having, like, a group of people that I know have got my back no matter what. Like, and I have friends and everything, but, like, a team, you spend every single day together. You go through so many highs, so many lows, and, like, I feel like no one gets you like your team. So I'm definitely going to miss just, like, the friendship and bond you build every year.
I think I'm going to miss just like the behind the scenes portion. Like, I know many of us complained every day about having practice at 5 a.m., but that was some of the funniest moments. Like, every day something funny happened. And after volleyball season ended and cheer season ended, this is the first time where I haven't, like Lyndi just said, like, been on a team. Like, we're still a team, you know what I mean? But I don't have practice every day. This is weird. I have time to do homework. Like, this is actually crazy. I was like, whoa, I'm done with my days now by like 11. And I'm like, well, I don't have to go get ready for practice. So it's weird.
I know as someone who's been on the team like their whole life, it's just so much to leave behind.
Yeah.
And I just want to say y'all both have done a really good job. Y'all have left an
Thank
imprint on this school, and you will be 2 names that will be remembered.
You're so sweet.
And I hope y'all know that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. It has been such a joy to have you, and I hope to see you guys again. And good luck in your endeavors.
Oh,
y'all are going off. It's going to be so awesome.
This has been
And will continue to be
The Williams Pulse.